Yeah, here we are. That goes for you guys in YouTube. Make sure you guys come check us, me, on TikTok. Always try to do some giveaways. There she is. God damn. Yeah, come check us out on live TikTok. Always try to bring guests to show their collection. That's the fun of this whole thing, right? Show your animals. Let's go. My buddy Brian always hustle. Brother,
What's up?
what's up, Brian? You look like you have a rough time, man. Are you
I
alright?
just woke up.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. You're the best, brother.
I overslept on my nap.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, we're in that kind of age of take a little naps, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There she is. What's good? What's good?
Going on?
Thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for
I
the
am
invite.
here.
Everybody excited to see your collection of geckos. That's all you got, or you got
Yeah,
snakes?
I have mostly crested geckos. I have gotten out of gargoyles, so I only have two right now, but one's on hold. The other one is up for sale, but I have one corn snake as a pet, a beardy as a pet, and then pretty much everything else is just crested geckos.
Nice.
Is there any certain morphs of cresties you're working with?
I love the super dolls, so I'm super into like the ink spots, oil spots, red spot dowels, anything with spots. I love it. I try
Right.
to do like minimal pattern or just like tiger striping underneath or brindling. I love like a good brindle with a bunch of dowel
What's up, man?
spots. And then I love my tricolors, so I've been getting into my tricolors a lot also.
Right.
You working with any lily white or anything like that?
I did get lily whites. I got lily whites imported from Korea this year. It was my first time
Oh, wow.
importing them from Korea. I used fetal to import. Um, I am not like impressed with how it worked out, but I love the animals that I did end up getting. They lost two of my geckos in shipping, I guess. I don't know what happened, but I was supposed to get six. They ended up sending five, and one was a gecko that I didn't even get. So I don't know what happened. But I did get some lilies from them. They're not ready to breed, but they should be next season. So I'm hoping to work in some lilies into my pairings and get those going. But everything else I have is small lilies. Like I have 2 or 3 small baby lilies.
Nice. Where you from?
I live in Erie, Pennsylvania. I
Oh,
grew up near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then I went to Edinburgh for wildlife biology, and I stayed up in the area ever since. I live right on Lake Erie in Mullins Park, so I'm always at the Erie Expos.
Did you say Pennsylvania? I'm sorry.
What was that?
Did you say
yes.
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, yep.
Are you gonna go to the reptile show they're gonna have this Saturday coming up?
I am going to the Erie Reptile Expo this Saturday. I was at an expo today, which was also in Erie, and then Sunday I'll be at Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there for vacation. I think they call it the East Coast, something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty Western, so anything like over to the east side, like they had the Hamburg Expo yesterday. That was like 5.5 hours from me. So
That's the one where they
gone
have
is like 3.5 hours for an expo down to West Virginia. So
the Hamburg expos where they have the venomous snakes, right?
I think they do have some. It's a pretty big show. The Oaks show is huge, though. They just had that one like a month ago, probably.
Yeah, I think that one I'm going Saturday coming up. I think they have venomous next too.
Yeah, there was a couple venomous snakes today. But it's not very common at the smaller shows, it seems like up here.
You guys need like a permit to own venomous snakes in here or not?
I'm not sure. Since I don't do venomous snakes, I'm not sure what the requirements are for keepers.
Certain counties in Pennsylvania, you do have to have them. I'm from Kansas, but I had a buddy that passed away up there with a snake bite. Got
Yeah.
bit by a.
I got a
And
friend in Pennsylvania that has venomous. I could always ask him.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure there. I mean, I would think maybe there is. We have lots of weird laws up here.
yeah.
How many geckos do you have in your collection now?
I can here. Let me flip my camera and I'll show you my basement. So I have a house now, and this. I gotta flip it and save it. I've never done a live on TikTok before, so this is my setup in my basement. So I have tanks and I do totes also, and then.
Oh my God, not totes! I'm teasing.
People hate on them, but they're so easy to clean.
Right?
Like, the glass, like I would have to scrape all this off, and that is just so much work. But so I do totes, and so I start my babies out in like something this small, and then once they reach about 15 grams, then I move to something like this, and then once they're about like 25-ish, then they go to a bigger tote, or it would be like a 10-gallon to a 20-gallon. So I have some tanks that
I like that setup.
It's pretty nice.
And like you said, the totes are so much easier to clean.
For sure. Like
now, did you put a window in them? Did you put a window for?
Yeah,
air?
so I would solder off the front, just solder or use, I don't know, like a little saw, cut it off, and then I hot glue screen on the inside of it.
Oh, nice.
And then I would solder holes in top. This is my corn snake shed from the other day, but
I bought a hot knife to cut. I bought a hot knife to cut plastic like that. Because I snuck a lot of my rats off.
I got a soldering iron from Walmart for like $10, and it works awesome.
Yep.
Same concept.
I mean, the Scooter Serpent says you do not need permits to have venomous in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I know in some counties you do because, like I said, when my buddy got unalived by a venomous snake there, they come in and confiscated everything they had.
Wow.
Him and his business partner.
Expensive to breed, like more than $500 a month. I mean, I guess it depends on what species you're working with. My crested geckos, I probably spend like $100 a month, I'd say, between food and water and all of that. But
what do you feed them?
I feed Crested Gecko diet. I mix brands. I use Lugardi, Pangea, Rapashi. Those are my three main staples. I always put Pangea growth and breeding in their food, and then I mix other flavors. Just depends.
Now, is that like the little Jello cups?
The Jello cups are pretty high in sugar, so it's similar to it. It's a powdered food that you buy, and then you just add water to it. So it's 1 part of the powder mix to 2 parts water.
Okay.
And
so you're talking to a bunch of snake breeders. That's why we're asking these questions.
Yeah, I do bugs like once a week. I have my own roach colonies. I have a dubia roach colony, a discoid roach colony, and then I have a mealworm colony. So I can breed them and keep up with that so I don't have to pay for bugs.
Do they like mealworms?
They do like mealworms. It depends on the geckos. Some are more like it has to be moving a lot. Like if I go out and buy crickets, like sometimes I'll buy like 2,000 crickets at a show or something to stay alive for a couple of weeks and feed those out. And they're like going nuts because they love like hunting things that move. But the mealworms don't move as much. So it kind of just depends on the gecko. Like if they're like, oh, the bug, like, I mean, if you break it open, they can smell the guts and stuff. But other than that.
Oh, nice.
I do have a dozen leopard geckos I'm going to start breeding when I get home.
There you go.
Nice.
Start getting a
That's
little bit
pretty
into
cool.
those first before I mess with crested geckos or anything else.
No, these are all dealing with these are all morphs, right? Not localities, I'm assuming.
Yeah, morphs for crusty geckos. The lychees have localities. I only have a pair of lychees that I just got like a month ago, but they didn't have like specific locales with them when I bought them. So it would just basically be a mutt.
Hmm. So what's the deal with the tail?
The crusty gecko tail,
Yeah. Yes.
they don't grow back.
Yep, they're frog
Now,
butted.
Grow back.
does that lower the value of a crested gecko at all?
Personally, I don't price them based on if they have a tail or not. Some people might, but I don't think it really affects their
I don't.
overall, you
Yeah,
know.
I don't think a lot of people do it all. It's the
Oh yeah,
price
because
is
I
the
mean you're
price,
dealing
tell
with
or
the
no tell.
genetics, right? Because you're
Yeah,
not the tail.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they still will have the same morph and the same traits
Right.
and genetics that they would with a tail versus without a tail. So,
I always wondered that.
a lot of people say it's easier for them to breed without the tail, also. So
yeah, sometimes they'll lose it during breeding. It's never happened to me whenever breeding, but I've heard stories and I'm sure it happens to a bunch of people. But
right.
So I'm assuming they bite once in a while? What's that like?
um sometimes, I mean, if you make them really mad and they're uncomfortable with how you're holding them or something, but it just kind of feels like sandpaper. It's not very, and they don't bite for long typically unless they're trying to like mate with your hand. Like I have a couple males that are like, oh, I'm gonna fuck your hand right now. And so they'll hang on to your hand for a little bit while they're trying to like do their thing, but everybody else, it's kind of like a quick bite and then it's done, and it just kind of feels like sandpaper. It doesn't really hurt. Sometimes it can draw blood, but very rarely. Their teeth are so small.
I had a leopard I was feeding mealworm to or superworm to, and it was wiggling, and she grabbed my finger instead, and she like looked at me, looked up at me, like, or she let go, looked up at me, looked at the mealworm. I said, "It's fine. You can have the mealworm." But it shocked her that she bit me. It shocked me too because I was like, I wasn't expecting it. It was so funny.
That's wild.
But they don't hurt. Nothing like a ball python bite or a boa bite.
Yeah, I've never been bit by a boa or a ball python, so I can't say.
You actually got to look at it, like, did that just bite me?
Yeah.
Like, did you just bite me?
Yeah, with the crested or a gecko, you're like, oh, how funny was that? But
Yeah,
with a,
right. Like, oh, what'd you get out of that? No.
yeah, right. It's
Oh,
not like
so
getting
scary.
bit by
It's so big.
a tokay gecko.
Right.
Tokay
Oh my
gecko.
gosh. Okays are horrible.
They're like
That's
little
what I
pit
want
bulls
to
of
get
the
into.
little gecko world, right?
Seriously, yeah,
Uh,
they are.
They're
why want to keep such a demonic little animal?
cool though, dude. They'll
They
actually
are cool. They are.
they'll
cool.
actually alligator roll with you when they bite you too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they'll try to literally take your finger off.
Yeah,
You want to show some animals?
sure. I have some geckos that I haven't put away yet from the show. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got some newer stuff that I've got this year for breeding hopefully next year.
So you was talking about importing those Korean lily whites. What's the
Yeah.
difference of them compared to what you would purchase in the United States?
I mean, Korea is so far ahead of the United States when it comes to gecko morphs. Like, they have, I don't know if any of this is going to mean anything to anybody, but like, they have sables, they have exanthics, and they have stable lily whites, and like all kinds of stuff that you can buy for like $100 a gecko. But like, if you bought that in the US, it would be like $10,000 that you're paying.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So
That's
they're
outrageous.
just like very far advanced and very far ahead of the US in terms of like gecko morphs, if that makes sense. And they're like able to breed them in like mass production essentially, and then sell them for a relatively cheap price because they're pretty common over there
Now,
now.
how was
US,
they?
it's not
Was
easily
you
attainable.
was you able to have them imported directly to you, or how'd that?
So they were imported from Fetal to Little Monsters Reptiles, and then Little Monsters shipped out to us. They did a quarantine at Little Monsters for a few days, and then they got shipped out to individual like people that purchased from them. So it got shipped to my FedEx hub, and I went and picked it up.
So can anybody purchase through Little Monsters then?
Yeah, you would purchase through Fetal, and then Fetal and Little Monsters have like a partnership. So you could look at Fetal, purchase the geckos there, and then you would pay Little Monsters for the US portion of the shipping, and then they would ship out to you whenever they get the geckos in and they go through a quarantine.
Was
No.
the shipping pretty expensive?
Yeah, it was. So for the first like 1 through 5 geckos, it was $400, and then every gecko after that was an extra $50. So I paid for
Okay.
6 geckos, so my shipping was $500, which I got reimbursed some of because I didn't get the geckos that I was hoping to get because they escaped.
Right.
But yeah, so if you even to get 1 gecko, you're paying $400 minimum for shipping.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now, do they do that only certain times of the year so they can
Yeah,
coordinate
they'll
like
schedule
bigger
like
shipments?
export import dates. So like everybody that orders and purchases on Fetal by a certain date will be a part of like mine was like March 27th or something was my shipment date. So March 27th I got my animals, but they were exported to the US like March 15th or something, and then they come on a plane over here, stay with Little Monsters for a few days, and then Little Monsters ships them out to us.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so technically, right? Say, okay, so let's say one of these geckos were $10,000 here. I could buy that over in Korea for a couple $100 and have it shipped for 400 more, and then
Yep.
like, ha, I got this. It's worth $10,000.
Yes, and people do that. People will like flip animals from there, which is frustrating. But
See, I wouldn't flip
Yeah.
it. That'd be mine. That'd
yeah,
be my centerpiece. Like, why would you get rid of it?
I know, right? And that's what blows my mind. Like,
You want to show us some of your export geckos to us?
yeah, I have them actually right in front of the camera here. So let me turn this around because I have it set up on my.
Well, real quick,
Tammy's
it's
not
funny
gonna
you say
be where
that
I-
too because I'm experiencing that now with like with tarantulas because the tarantulas I'm buying in the US are like several $100s, and in Europe they're like $25-$30.
It's crazy.
John Tammy's not going to be very active because she's driving to get my rats right now. So.
Oh, good.
This is one of the lilies that I got imported.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's very cute.
That is amazing.
So I'm excited to work with her when she's bigger.
For sure.
I don't know, man. Aesthetically wise, I think they're one of the best looking geckos.
I agree. I do think that they're very cute also.
Yeah, that's very sharp.
Just how wide their head spades out like that. It's
I
just
know.
the
I like
spikes
the
over
Definitely
the
little-
cute as
eyes.
shit.
I
Just
like
don't like how
those.
quick they are.
I know, right?
I like the little spiky deals on their heads and that.
Yeah.
Crest.
Yeah, where they get their name from.
Yeah,
Crested geckos.
that one's gorgeous. Oh my god, that is a very much cleaner lily white. compared
Yeah, I'm
to
hoping
some I
that
might
when
see.
she's full grown, her back will be completely white, like a solid white,
Uh-huh.
because I think that will be cool to work with. And then her side patterns are very cute also. And then she's got like the one stripe that's almost like yellow compared to the rest of her white, which I think is adorable.
And you just keep these at. So we learned a little bit about these not too long ago, actually. You keep these at room temperature, correct?
Yep, room temperature. My reptile room stays around like 75-ish degrees. Once you start going over 80, it's fatal for them, which is
Really?
nice for me.
So
Yeah,
cooler.
that
so
keeps your room
cooler,
nice and cool.
Yeah, right? And it's just my basement, so
cooler's better, right?
yeah.
Now, how do they do with humidity? Is there a requirement?
Humidity, they get a spike up to about 80% and then a dry out to like 30%.
That's pretty wide range.
Yeah. So the spike up to 80 would be achieved by like misting once a day, maybe twice a day, depending on how well your room holds humidity. For me, I mist every other day because I have like 150 geckos down here, so it stays pretty humid. So by the time
Right.
they're dried out, it takes like a day and a half to dry out.
Nice.
So
Oh,
this
that's
is
very
male, lily white.
Got a nice
I like
set.
that one.
Yeah.
He's
Nice.
very cute, and when he's fired up, he's like dark, almost black in those spots. It's like purpley looking. I don't even
Eyes
know.
are massive.
That is he is beautiful.
That's what
Wow.
I'm saying. Like out of all the geckos, like just like say you don't know anything about geckos, right? And they showed you in a lineup of geckos, like aesthetically, that thing's awesome looking.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I like it. I like them because I don't have cresties. I've got leopards, but I want to get into cresties. But
What up, Patrick?
I like them because they're just
Patrick.
really easy to take care of. You know,
They are super easy to take care of. Like, I packed up geckos for a show that I had today, yesterday, and I haven't provided any like food or misting, and I won't give them food or mist them until tomorrow.
oh yeah, let them settle back in.
Yeah.
Hey, K Savage.
So yeah, that's that guy. He's very cute. I'm excited for these to grow out and see how they change even more as they grow out. Like,
What is the weight for breeding on cresties?
typically minimum 40 grams.
Oh, okay.
Some of them it depends. I try to match up the weights on the male and the female. So if a female is like 45 grams, I don't want to put her with a smaller male because I don't want her to bully him.
Oh, they'll do that?
They will.
Oh,
This
wow.
guy is not a lily white. This is the replacement they gave me for losing the two geckos.
Oh, nice.
But he is still really cute, and I'm
There's-
excited to work with him.
Now, what is his morph?
I would just call low expression Harlequin because he has pattern on the legs and the
Oh,
side
okay.
and his dorsal.
See, that one don't look cute or look bad with the frog butt. Some of them look dorky. Maybe it's
I
his
know,
coloring and
yeah.
pattern and that, but he looks actually kind of cute. The ones I really hate to see the one when they lose their tails, the little whites. When they
I
lose their
know.
tail,
When
I'm
the
like,
lilies lose their tail, it looks so weird, I feel
I
like.
know.
He's got big crests, though. Like, that's good structure.
And how
These-
many eggs
Ow.
do they lay a year?
They can lay up to 16 eggs typically a year, about
Fertile?
2 a month for the 8 months of their breeding season. So I
Fertile.
usually am getting eggs from March through October, November-ish. I start my pairings in late January, early February.
Fertile eggs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Now, how long do they retain the sperm for?
about a year. Sometimes they can retain it for longer, but I have never found that to be an issue for me, myself.
So typically, how many pairings do you do on a female a year?
For one female, I only do one male too because she'll retain his sperm the entire year.
And that's just one pairing, one lock?
Yep. I'll use one male for multiple females sometimes, but
Okay.
typically just one.
Sounds like dude's got a good life over there.
Thanks for the gifts, everyone, by the way.
Some people keep their geckos together during the breeding season. I separate mine. This guy is also not a lily white. He is just high white. And when he fires up, these like drips down are almost black.
Oh,
So how long do you keep your male before you move out of the female?
I do supervised pairings.
Oh,
So I will put my geckos together and I will sit down here and like clean tanks or feed everybody while I'm also keeping an eye on them. And then after I see a confirmed flock is when I separate them.
oh wow.
So once he gets his heavy feeds back in, then he will go back into his own enclosure. But yeah,
But that's a male, correct?
this is a male, yes.
And now I could tell that because he's got little gecko balls, right?
Yeah, he has little balls. He would also have pores underneath.
Oh, nice.
So,
A little nutsack.
yeah, right. The nuts are the easiest way to tell for sure.
Nice nuts, my
From
boy.
the middle of this leg to the middle of this leg, there's a row of like two rows of scales that have pores in them, which
Well, he's
is like a
kinda
little
chill.
black dot.
Now, how do
Kind of
you...
feel like he's bragging.
Yeah, right. He's like, look at my nuts.
Right.
And the scales with the pores in them, that determines if it's a male?
Yeah, if they have pores, they're a male. If they don't, they're a female. So this guy's, his are like right.
I see.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like, I don't think I can get very close to the
Yeah, I
lights
can
all the way
kind of
over
see
here.
A little,
Now,
I can see the
how
little shaded dark area.
how early can you tell male or female on them?
About 15 grams is when you can see with the naked eye. Some people are able to loop them and sex them before they're 15 grams, but then it's only like labeled as a possible male or a possible female or possible pores visible or no pores visible, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
So I personally don't guarantee anything until after 15 grams.
Now, how early do you ship? What weight do you feel comfortable selling your cresties at?
I will do about 4 grams.
Okay.
It's not like really age based. I kind of go off of like if they're eating, if they're pooping, doing all the normal bodily functions.
Right.
Even 4 grams is kind of small for me to ship. Like online platforms, I only post animals that are like adults essentially.
I got you.
My babies sell faster than adults do at shows, so that's kind of where I go off of.
Oh, okay.
Them.
Thank you, John, for the gifts. Appreciate it.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, thank everybody for the gifts.
Yes.
And did I miss, did you have a morph market?
I do have Morph Market. It's Rels Reptiles.
Rels Reptiles, remember that, Tammy.
I sent you a follow too, ma'am, if you wouldn't mind following me back.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I will probably be able to figure that out after I'm off of this. This is the first time I've ever done a live on here, so I don't know how to do anything.
Hey, my pleasure. I appreciate it.
That's a good way to let people know you're out there.
I like your
Yeah.
insight
That's true.
on the crested geckos too. You're very knowledgeable on them.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been keeping crested geckos since I was in high school. I'm 25 now, so 7, 8-ish years. I have geckos that are 8 years old.
Nice.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
like that. That one's pretty.
Yeah, this girl is one that I picked up this year, so I've never paired her, but she has got the floppiest crest I've ever seen on a gecko. She's
Yeah.
so derpy looking.
Oh my
I
goodness.
see it
what,
now.
What in the
Oh,
world?
dude, drop, yeah.
It was like a haircut.
That's actually
Literally.
That's cool shit.
So this is like some
like a
crazy.
haircut.
She looks like a puppy dog. I
Yes,
swear.
It looks
It's
like
like-
anything off
I
of
want
Star
one like-
Wars, Jar Jar Binks.
It
Yeah.
was like an emo.
I want one like that.
Yeah, so I'm excited
I'm down
to
for
work
one
with
like
her.
that.
And she's got crazy. She's got no spots. I feel like I either want a million Dow spots or no Dow spots in my line. So she's got some cool
I'm
colors.
pretty sure I will never be happy with a crested gecko unless it's derpy like that.
I know, seriously.
Alright.
Like I
I
was
want
like,
that
oh
bad.
my gosh.
Now, was that something from birth, or is that a trait, or what? Or what?
Yeah, I mean, genetically, her parents would have big crests, so she would inherit the big crests. Like, if something has next to no crests, you could pair it with something that has humongous crests like this, and then you would, like, get somewhere in the middle, essentially. Like, you
okay,
can
so the
breed out
crest-
for structure.
Oh, okay, so the crest kind of dropped then, correct?
Yeah, this one because they're so large.
Oh, okay. Wow,
It looks
nice.
like ears when you're looking at it straight at
Yeah.
Seriously.
it. Like,
I know
Tommy,
it's
give me
cute
my
as
sock
shit.
master.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
That's why I
she's
said Jar
super
Jar
cute.
Binks has some real long ears on Star Wars.
Yeah.
now, yeah, right. Other than the crest being real cool like that, what's its morph?
She's also a Harlequin.
Oh, okay.
So some people will call her a tricolor because she's got like the yellow, the white, cream, and then this darker brown.
Now, what is the least expensive gene to get into working with cresties to build up with?
Least expensive, most widespread will be like your Harlequins and Flames. Anything that has dowel spots on top of pattern is also relatively cheap because, like, in geckos like this, like, I'm going to work my hardest to keep spots out of her lines and spots out of her kids so that it's not overlapping on top of the pattern that she has.
No, I got you. Okay.
So I'm hoping to pair her to a high white tricolor male or maybe the male from fetal next year to keep spots out of it and then keep the lighter back and then something dripping down the side like that.
I like the side pattern.
Yeah, she's super cute.
Yeah.
I'd love to have that one.
Oh, me too.
Is she gravid?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think she was ever bred.
She looks very healthy.
Yeah, she's definitely healthy.
I've had her for a couple months. I have a Laban in her enclosure, but I've never found eggs from her yet. So
Okay, another question. After they're paired, how long does it take for the female to produce eggs?
about a month. A month
And
to
then-
60 days, like 1 to 2 months.
And then how long does it take for them to hatch?
It depends on the temperature that you keep them at. So I keep my eggs in my beardy room, and I find like 90-ish days is my average, 90 to 100 days. But I've had some go as long as 140 days before they
Oh,
hatch.
wow.
Yeah.
And what room temperature do you incubate at?
So they don't have anything special. I just keep them in like a little tackle box essentially. And they are kept with the I use Rapashi hatch or Pangea hatch in the bottom, and then it's moistened and they just sit in there. There's no special heating or anything on top of them. They're not in an incubator. They're just kept in the room that my bearded dragon is kept in because that room stays pretty warm. So I'd say they're probably around like 78-ish degrees.
Oh, okay.
Hatch out quicker than I have in the past. I used to have my reptile room upstairs and I would keep my eggs upstairs, but in the basement I get so much temperature fluctuation that keeping them by a wall, I'm like, oh, I don't want them to dent or I don't want them to, fail or take longer. So that's why I moved them up with my beardy when I came down here with everybody.
Right. Makes sense. Now that's a
My
gargoyle,
only
right?
guard. Yep.
Yep.
She's adorable.
What is her morph?
She is a black and white stripe, and she has orange blotching. So down the dorsal on either side there, she has little specks of orange. Oh, she wants to run.
Oh, you got Brian's attention. You mentioned orange.
He looks chunky too.
Yeah,
she's
she is
fine
very
looking.
round.
Now those hatch out at room temperature also, correct?
Yeah, they're very similar to crested geckos. They're related to crested geckos.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The little
Yeah,
spaz I have on my hands today. It's
What's,
because she's been in a cup all day. The show.
how many eggs do you produce a year?
This year, I only have 5 pairings so far. I might try and do some late season pairings once I have everybody figured out and everybody hits weights and finishes quarantines. But from my 5 geckos, I expect to get probably like 75 to 80 eggs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you produce all year long, or you just have a season for that?
I pair and I breed seasonally, so I will pair in like February, late January, early February, have them breed then, lay March through October, November. But babies essentially are hatching out all year long because it takes them like 90 to 120-ish days to hatch out.
Nice.
That's a lot of babies.
What got you into this?
I used to work at a pet store when I was in high school. And I got super into the reptiles whenever I was in high school. So I got my first crested gecko, and then I was like, oh, I have to have more. And so then I got more cresties. And then I ran out of room in my parents' house, and they were like, no more. So when I went off to college, I got a few more, and then I had friends that had also gotten cresties, and they were like, oh, I can't take care of them anymore. Can you take them? And my one friend, she had a male and a female together, which ultimately ended up in them having eggs. So I kept the eggs, and I hatched them out, and I had my first baby geckos from that.
Nice.
And I was like, this is so cool. I'm totally going to do this as a hobby.
Oh, wow. I like that one.
Yeah, this guy is super cool. He is a sub-adult, but a male, and he's got the white fringing all the way up his crests.
Now, what morph is that one?
This guy is also a Harlequin.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a extreme Harlequin. For this guy, maybe tricolor if you were stretching, but I feel like the color's not evenly distributed to be called a tricolor. But he's got the fringing all the way up his head and down his dorsal. And then he's got portholes, which are these little white spots essentially on his side.
Oh, nice.
Those are called portholes. Yep.
What do you think about the cappuccino?
I think the caps are cool. I think people are advertising geckos as cappuccino, but there's not really a telltale way to figure out if it actually is a cappuccino or if it's just like a regular flame or harlequin. You have to prove it out to make sure.
Okay.
Is my hot take on that.
So is that one to stay away from if you're starting out breeding or just in the hobby, or?
I mean, you can get a cap, proven, whatever. Some of them aren't cheap right now. Some are pretty expensive, but I don't see why it wouldn't be a good starter morph for somebody to have.
That one's really pretty. I like that one too.
Yeah, this one's cute. This is a tricolor juvenile.
Now, what's something like that running at the reptile show?
Really?
This one I have priced at $150.
$150.
Yep,
No
I
problem.
have all the parent pictures. It's just it's too small to tell the sex right now. But the contrast is crazy, and it will change more as it grows.
Now, what's the weight on that one there?
This one's about 4 grams.
Really?
4 or 5 grams, yeah.
I was expecting it to be smaller at that weight. That's pretty good size.
Yep, 4 to 5 grams. I do have some smaller ones.
Now, are they hard to take care of at that size? I mean, to get them to stay eating constantly, or?
Not necessarily. It might be a little more difficult to maintain their humidity to an appropriate level for a baby, but the care all around is essentially the same as an adult.
Right.
Just pay a little bit more attention.
Hey guys,
I
don't
gotcha.
forget, I'm doing a giveaway today, so don't forget you comment down below with the hashtag giveaway. I got some design art from Inca Olivia. Let me show you guys over here. Always try to get some free shit out there. So she just simply designed my logo, so don't forget. Then it's kind of big.
This one's a little smaller.
Big.
Oh, pretty. I like that, John.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what you're giving away, that?
yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So make sure you type down giveaway hashtag giveaway. You get the point.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what size is that one there, ma'am?
That's the same one. This one
Oh,
is a little smaller, but not much smaller. About, I'd say 3. They're only about a gram apart, but
oh,
this
nice.
one, this little red one, is the smallest that I typically have on my table.
That one's cute too. I like that one.
Yeah, red with portholes, most spots. Got a lot of portholes. Oh my gosh, my juggling difference.
They like to move.
They do. Like, I don't even know where that one just went. There you are. I love going under this log.
What do they require for husbandry? Just some fake branches and
Yep,
places to hide?
I just have a lot of them I'll use like pool noodles in and stuff. So I'll take my phone out and I'll show you guys some setups that I have for. And so, like in this enclosure, I use just fake plants. I get like a big, huge fern from Walmart or wherever, and then this is pipe insulation, and I just cut it to fit, and then I wedge it in between so they have horizontal perching. And then my babies, I don't give water dishes to because I don't want them to drown, so I will just mist them heavily, and then they get a food dish whenever they're fed. So
Now, are those real plants or artificial?
artificial. Most of them just have artificial plants. I do have like live monsters and stuff in some of them, but not
Oh,
typically.
nice. Thanks, everybody, for the gifts. Appreciate them.
Oh, snap. Look at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna grab on some.
Right, Jenny, I definitely agree. Very nice setups.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, don't forget through those hashtags, man, to tweet some art. Don't be shy.
So these are some of the dolls that I like working with the big, huge spots. They call those ink spots. This girl's got a lot right on her head.
Yeah, everyone in the box tap it too because it's for everybody.
Yes, sir.
So they have super
nice.
forms also?
Oh,
Yeah, there are super forms. So the Dalmatians, like when you see a super Dalmatian that's not like a super form of a morph, Dalmatian spots are just a trait on crested geckos. So you could have the morph like Harlequin with Dalmatian spots as a trait.
Okay.
Super forms, we have like super forms of lily whites, the super cappuccinos, which both of those though are legal, and it's unethical to breed a lily white to a lily white or a cappuccino to a cappuccino because they have health issues or they they fail essentially right out of the egg.
Gotcha. No, because I was just checking out Morph Market to try to get a grip on why these things are named what they are, and I'm more lost now than I ever am.
Yeah, right. I know they're so confusing, and
'Cause
sometimes I'm like, I wish that crested geckos used the same morphs and traits as like ball pythons or something because
so you can help me out real quick with this. Okay, so I'm looking at a cranberry bog red phantom super Dalmatian female, right? So they have traits that are listed in gray and traits that are listed in red.
Okay.
The gray ones are Dalmatian, Super Dalmatian, Ink Spot, and Red, and the ones that are listed in red are Phantom. What does that mean?
Okay, so the red and phantom are like the same thing, and then the super Dalmatian, Dalmatian, red spot, and what else did it have?
Ink Spot?
Ink spot, yeah, those will be essentially grouped into the same thing. So this is a super Dalmatian. It has ink spots, oil spots, red spots. Those are all traits. Its morph, though, I would say, is a very light brindle. It might even be patternless technically, but the freckling on its sides makes me think it's a little bit brindled.
Oh, so this actually goes beyond just morphs and traits are added then.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
It's pretty detailed. The person selling the animal will have added those morphs and traits themselves. So hopefully they would essentially know what they're talking about and be accurate with that.
I don't know. It's the seller, I think, is Smugbug.
Oh, Smugbugs knows what she's talking about.
It's a really cool looking gecko. That's why I had to look into the traits and see how it was done. That's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, so phantoms, I'll show you a cool one here. Let me put this girl back. Um,
That's a great name, Smugbug.
yeah, she does a lot of isopods and bug related content, but she does a lot of cresties too. I follow her on Instagram.
So like these things that you can actually like make up some of the traits yourself.
Yeah, some people have found traits and things like that, like the sable gene and the I forget what the other one was, but those were like founded and claimed or whatever by somebody in the United States.
Gotcha.
So when you get into genetics, I mean, you have incomplete dominant, co-dominant things. So like this guy, he's got what we call, he carries the phantom trait, but it's not expressed fully in him. So he has phantom pins, which is essentially this dark, if he would stay still, this dark line underneath where his pinstripe is. So if a gecko is a full pin, they would have lines down their entire back. All of these pins would be the same color, typically white. And then underneath on the sides where those dorsal pins are, it's darker. That's a phantom pin. So this is a carrier for the phantom gene. It's just not expressed fully in him.
So would
Someone
that
asked
be like
you.
recessive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone asked you.
Both have to be
You,
phantom or
You
carry
rec-
the phantom gene to express it.
you recommend vertical over horizontal baby bins for baby cresties?
Yep. I use shoe boxes and I flip them on their side. That's what I do. This is a red phantom, so instead of just having the darker red underneath, it goes the whole way down. So it's lighter on the back and then darker on each side.
Active little one.
Exactly.
No, seriously.
Jumpers.
Oh my goodness. So this is
The
a
only
red
thing that bugs
phantom.
me, I'm shaky and uncoordinated, so yeah, them jumping out of my hand all the time would be problematic.
You just gotta be careful not to grab them by the tail, right?
Yeah, if you grab them by the tail and they are like, oh crap, I can't move because you're holding my tail, then they'll most likely drop it. If they
Yeah,
feel
mine
scared,
will probably be missing tails.
they'll drop them, but
So, Rel, I may have missed it earlier. Do you have any giant of the leaf-tailed geckos?
I do not. I just have crested geckos, the one garg I had on, and then I have leechies, but my leechies are relatively new, so I tried to not handle them because I'm trying to let them settle in, and they also try and bite my face off.
Oh my gosh. Are they large? Are they larger?
Yeah, they are huge. Huge, huge, huge. So This is, for reference, a 4-foot tall enclosure. The male is out up there. That's his head.
That's his
Out of the
head?
cork bark. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So what kind of damage would you receive from a bite from one of those?
Oh my god. They would definitely draw blood.
Yeah.
Definitely draw blood. Depends on where they get you at, I guess. Like if it was like the side of your hand or something, they might even get a little bit of skin. But their teeth are relatively small, kind of like a crested gecko. They're related to a crested gecko. They're just like the biggest of the New Caledonian geckos.
Okay.
But they're like the bulldogs of the crested or the New Caledonian geckos. Like they're just chubby and cute, and they like want to be mean, but they're like they're not.
Right.
They're defensive of their cork, so if you try and touch them when they're in their cork, they will lose their ever-loving minds. But if you get them when they're like on the glass or out and about, then they'll just kind of chill with you on your hand.
Gotcha. Are you expanding that base into like the giant leaf tails, or are you staying there?
I don't know if I'll do leaf tails. I mean, maybe one day, eventually I will, but for now, cresties, some gargs every now and then as I decide, but right now I'm sticking mainly to cresties, and then my leechies. That is a bonded pair, so leechies will bond for life and mate for life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Kind of like birds of prey.
Yeah.
Like the crested geckos don't do that. Like I don't think any other New Caledonian species of geckos do that. Just the leechies. So once they're bonded and mated, like they will mate for life. They only have about 6 clutches a year, max. Like you'd be lucky to have like about 4 to 6, I'd say. So you might only get 8 leechies a year, 4 to 8 leechies a year.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's up, Sammy?
What's up, Sammy?
So when do you start feed your babies crested geckos when they first come out of the egg?
I kind of let them soak up whatever egg yolk and everything that they've got for the first 2 days, and then on the 3rd day I'll start feeding. Regular crested gecko diet, just like an adult.
Hey, ma'am, a lady in chat wanted to see your crested gecko baby bin. One of them.
Oh, okay. I'll show you again.
Thank you.
They're all my baby bins. And then they're all set up like a little bit differently. But this one must have been knocked off. But essentially, get some of those leaves up in the air there. So they're arboreal, so they'll like to sit on that branch, but also have a bridge provided to them. And they'll just chill in here. All of these are down, I guess. Well, I cleaned tanks before I took them to expos, so. But this is just a little shoebox. I have one little paper towel on the bottom, fake plants, pipe insulation, or pool noodles, and then just coverage. They're so tiny. This is just what works for me. What works best for me. Some people do it differently. I mean, everybody keeps everything differently, but
Right.
It's whatever works, right?
That's what's great about the reptile world. There's no etched in stone on what you have to use.
Right, exactly. Yep, so the ventilation on these actually is already in the back. So I have some that I didn't put together yet, but so the back looks like this. This is the back panel on it, and it already has holes punched into it.
It's vented, right.
Yeah. I order these on Walmart or Amazon, and they come in like a 12-pack. And then this is the front, and it just folds down like that.
So the
and
front,
then connect it to its little body.
So the front does not have holes or anything in the lid, the handle?
No, I mean, it does there, but I tape over it typically
okay.
with like painter's tape or something that
I got you.
the water.
Right.
So
It works.
I do tape over them, and then if I have to change the tape, like if they poop on it or something, then it's an easy enough fix. I just peel it off and put a new piece on.
Right. Perfect.
Oh, nice.
And then the sticky part is like where your finger would go, so
Easy
they
to
aren't
open.
walking on the stickiness.
Right.
You get stuck to it.
That's a very nice setup. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Everybody be respectful in the chat or you will be removed.
Guys, don't forget the hashtag for the giveaway, man.
I get these baby bins from Walmart or Amazon. They're literally just plastic shoe boxes turned on their side. I only keep them in here until they're 15 grams and then they're upgraded to something bigger.
Sammy asked, where do you get your enclosures?
Yeah, Walmart or Amazon. And then my bigger enclosures, my totes I also get from Walmart. They're relatively cheap there. And then glass enclosures I'll buy from a pet store when they're on sale, or I will buy from like Facebook Marketplace or something used with them out.
Make sure you do hashtag giveaway Jason and Chris. And man, make sure you do hashtag giveaway also, please.
All right.
Mr. House with 1,000 Skills, do it now.
You heard him.
He's our buddy from Arizona.
Thank you for the gifts.
Yeah, those are really nice enclosures, and I like those.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it's easy enough. I just flip all them down. I just spray down the line and then plop all the food in and then flip. And done.
That's pretty creative. I'd have never thought of that.
Yeah.
My mom was the one that thought of it, so.
Okay.
And especially with, that's an easy way to be able to house and keep quite a bit of crested geckos.
Yeah, especially because then, like, I upgrade it, like, and I know when they're going to need upgraded. So.
Right.
Because, like, everybody in the ball python world or in reptiles whatsoever likes to complain about racks over enclosures for ball pythons. Well, if you're a breeder, can you imagine how many setups, enclosures you're going to have compared to racks if you have a couple hundred ball pythons?
Fast, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yep. You gotta love it.
Yeah, I believe it. Extreme Serpentines. I forget the guy's name, Brian. I heard him make that statement that he bought the shoe boxes from Walmart.
Yeah, I buy mine from Walmart too.
Right.
I like that. I like that idea. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Tiger stripes almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this girl is super cute. She's very round. I also got her just this year, so I'm excited to work with her next year. But she's so clean.
Yeah.
Just like that cream and that black. She's a Harlequin. I would say maybe extreme, but she's definitely drippy because the dark colors drip down into her sides.
Right.
Oh wow, I like that.
Yeah, she's super cute. So I'm excited to work with her next year.
That pattern is wild on her too.
Yeah, the male that I showed from that I got from Fetal earlier, I'm planning to pair him to her, but he's just not at weight yet, and she's very big, so he needs to be like minimum probably 45 grams.
What would you say she is? Like 50 grams or so?
I can weigh her real quick, but last time I weighed her, I think she was around that. Let me see.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah, she's
Hashtag giveaway in the chat to win that picture in John's box.
What was she, ma'am?
55.8 grams.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's a big girl.
Yeah,
There
she's
she is.
pretty big. She's pretty round, and she has no tail. So
Yeah.
typically a 2 to 3 gram difference for with a tail or without a tail is normal. So with a tail, she'd probably be closer to 60.
Nice.
We like 'em big. We like 'em chunky.
Yeah, she's super round.
All right, guys, this is about the end of the live. So, the last chance. Oof. My favorite Dalmatian.
She is so cute. I love that she has like the yellow pinning and then the yellow broken quads on either side, but she has huge ink spots. I'll show you the male that I'm pairing to.
I got some eggs right now from a mix of a Dalmatian and a Lily White.
Oh, very nice. This is the male that I paired her to this year.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So they both have this like funky yellow quad going on, and they both have big spots, big ink spots, oil spots. Like this is the pairing that I was most excited for at the beginning of the year.
Nice. Do you have
I
any
got my
super
first
Dalmatians?
fertile clutch from her last month on the 31st, I believe. So hopefully soon I will have my second clutch from her, and I can't wait to see what these babies look like.
Do you have any super Dalmatian in your collection or not?
Yeah, I do. I'll show you some crazy babies that I have.
Oof. Yeah, that's my favorite combination with the Lily White with the super Dalmatian. That's pretty nice.
And do you currently have anything on your morph market for sale?
Right now I think I only have 2 adults posted. Okay, this is a super doll that I have. It's a baby right now.
Oh, nice.
The spots are crazy. I can't wait to see what it looks like as it grows up.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Damn. Congrats, that's awesome.
Thanks. Now I'm super excited to see what the future holds.
That
for
super
these
Dal- what else does he has?
dogs. He's got white portholes. I mean, he's got ink spots, red spots. He's got bullseye spots, which is like a black spot with red in the middle.
Nice.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have a base morph. I mean, he might have a little bit of pattern on his back, so he might be considered a flame in some people's eyes. But I'm just psyched about all the spots because that's crazy to have that many spots that small.
It is. I can't imagine any full grown.
I know, right?
That thing is beautiful.
I am so excited.
That's a super Dow, huh?
Yeah. The spots on the head are crazy.
That's crazy. All right, guys.
I like your backdrop for showing too. That's pretty
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been doing Palm Street.
That was very
I got approved as a reptile seller on Palm Street, so I was like, I have to come up with something creative. So it worked out well that I got asked to do this and also have this backdrop.
What do you think about Palm Street?
I like Palm Street. I don't know. I think that people should have to agree to stuff. I've had people like bid on stuff and then they're like, "Oh, I didn't actually mean to bid on that. Can you refund me?" And I'm like, no.
Yeah, but I mean, you're covered right in the notes on the side of the. When
yeah,
they pull it down.
I mean, I ended up refunding one person, and I was like, I will never again refund anybody. But they like filed stuff with Palm Street, and I was like, I'm not trying to deal with all this drama so early on. So
I bought something for the first time in an auction last night, and I'm gonna. If you don't know, You better have that money in your account because it comes out instantly.
Instantly, yes. Instantly.
And what is Palm Street?
Palm Street is an app. I mean, anybody could download it. It's free to download. You can load like your card onto there, and then it's essentially live auctions. So it used to be for just plants, but recently they've added reptiles to it as well. So now reptile sellers can put their reptiles for auction, and you can bid on reptiles. So like you just swipe at the bottom, they set a starting price, and then it runs for like 60 seconds or whatever they set it to, and you just swipe to bid, and then whoever wins it, and then they will ship it to you or do local pickup or whatever, depending on where you are.
And they have reviews and buyer security and stuff like that.
Yeah. All of the reviews and all of the sales that somebody has had will be posted to their profile, and you can read through them. Like mine, I think I have like 30 sales on there, and like I don't know how many reviews, but like you can scroll through my reviews and my sales and all that stuff and go from there. But yeah, I got approved like 2 months ago probably, and I did my first live show middle of March. I just did one 2 weeks ago. I've only done the 2 shows, but it's been great. I mean, I've had a good time. It's just like I literally just sit here and you just look at my backdrop, and then I just show geckos and I start my auction, and people bid on it or they don't. And then after like 2 hours, I'm done, and that's that.
Do you do well or?
Yeah, my first show I did like $1,300, and then my second show I did about $800. But I did a shorter show that time. So
I can promise you that like the people that are doing the auctions and that have like a little bit of a name or a following, they're making money.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, people are on there like,
especially the spider people.
The spider people, yeah.
All right, guys, you guys ready for this or what?
Giveaway?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't know if Tammy, do you write it down, Tammy?
I don't
know.
Oh, you're the best.
Here.
You're the best,
Oh, wow.
Tammy. You want to do the Spain for us, Tammy?
Yeah, let me turn my camera on. I think I have everyone too. I hope.
Are you home yet?
No.
You made
We're in
that
the-
comment about your mom and dad saying you had too many geckos and no more. My wife's getting about that point with snakes, so I might have to find a place to live.
Yeah, you might. Take your snakes with you. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Spin it.
Let me shuffle it. Okay.
There it is.
There's your winner.
Oh,
There you
no
go.
way.
There you go.
Nice.
My daughter
gonna
and
say-
children.
I was gonna say if it was Clint, he wouldn't be here next week.
Right? I know, he wins everything.
Right?
I
Oh,
agree
so
with you, Hannibal Lecter, and I'm a ball
That's
python
awesome.
breeder. Agree with you 100%.
Hey,
Congrats to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
thank you so much to be here and show you your collection. That was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Pretty awesome. It's nice meeting you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be
I
checking
gave you
out
a
all
follow.
your stuff.
Please follow back, and
Wow.
I
I
enjoyed
sent you a
it a
follow.
lot.
And Tammy, do you want to send us home or what?
Yeah, so join us next Sunday at 5 p.m. Our guest will be Kyle Hoffman.
All right.
All
Oh,
right.
nice. Kyle's coming on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a nice ball python
We're
collection.
excited for that.
Been breeding for over 20 years.
Yeah.
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 Got over 700 snakes, I think they said.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for being here today.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, everyone. And
Very
And
nice
thanks
meeting
for
you,
the
ma'am.
40K
Thank
likes,
you.
too.
Oh, yeah.
So-
yeah,
Tell
for
everybody
sure.
where we can find you before we take off.
I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Palm Street. You can find me on Morph Market. And I think that's it, other than local shows.
I just followed you on Morph Market.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Nice.
Tammy, go follow her on Morph Market.
Is your
You'll know where to go.
Morph Market the same as your name here?
Yeah, it should be under Rels Reptiles. Like if you look up Rels Reptiles.
And Brian, do you have a podcast after this or what?
Yeah, tonight at 8 o'clock, Morph Map, we're breaking down the Scrambler gene tonight.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So that's going to be fun.
Good. All right, everybody. Thank you so much to be here.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bro.
See you guys later.